Next question. What is your favorite anime dub? Full Metal Alchemist. Love both the original and Brotherhood. Awesome dubs for both series. Next. What is your favorite dubbed anime? Isn't that the same question as the one above? Anyway. What is your favorite TV show? Well, if you want to call it a TV show, currently I'm really into Legend of Korra, because it's just a great storyline, and it's a shame there's only a few episodes left. But as far as shows of all time, I would easily say that's South Park, because honestly, Matt and Trey are my heroes. Like, can't even tell you how much I am a huge fan of South Park's. Honestly, they're just such a great show. With all the impact they've had on society, they're so awesome. Heck, I might even be tempted to do a top list of favorite South Park episodes one day. Maybe. Anyway, moving on. What is your favorite anime dubbing company? Funimation. Duh. What company dubs anime the best? Isn't that really the same question? I mean, asking my favorite and which one is the best dubbing company? That's kind of, I don't know, seems like the same question to me. But once again, Funimation. Or at least in my opinion, Funimation. Next. Which company dubs anime worse? Okay, I think you already know the answer, but I'll answer it anyway. 4Kids. Although, luckily, they're gone. Next. What do you think of Tom Welland as a voice actor? Okay, look. I know I badmouthed him in that previous video, but I'll say this much. He's a decent voice actor. Like, I liked him as Arceus, but I wouldn't call him a great voice actor, but he's okay. Decent. But like I said, as a director, he's horrible. Next question. Why do you dislike Dan Green's Yami Yugi / regular Yugi voice? Alright, look. I like Dan Green as a voice actor, but I really think that he was miscast. As his Yami voice, honestly, is too gruff, way too demanding for my taste, and I think it just came off as, just didn't work for him. Like, honestly, I think Yami should sound kind of calm and collective, and the fact that Dan Green makes him always sound angry at everything just seemed way off. Like, having read the manga, I never could picture Dan Green's voice as Yugi. As for his Kid Yugi voice, I honestly think it seems too forced. Like, it's clear that he's trying to force Yugi to sound like a prepubescent boy, and it just doesn't work. Like, that's why I said that Aaron Dismuke would make a better Yugi, because he actually is a teenage male. Well, was at least. And honestly, I think he would be able to fit the role much better. Next. Why do anime fans want people to watch fan subs? Well, first off, I think there's all sorts of reasons that people watch fan subs. For starters, whether it's because they think that watching the fan subs will get their favorite shows out faster. Other times it's because the English dubs aren't really doing a good job. There's all sorts of reasons that people want to watch them. Personally, and this is just my opinion, but at this day and age, I honestly find fan subbing to be kinda pointless for the most part. Not entirely, but there's only really 2 reasons that I would ever really support a fan sub for a show. First one is if the show is completely unlicensed, which of course makes it legal and fair game, because of course no one wants to license it, and therefore it's the only way of watching it, so by all means, continue fan subbing those shows. The second excuse I will justify fan subbing for is if the official English dub is doing a piss poor job of handling it, whether it's because their English dub is crap or they're just not releasing subtitled episodes officially in any form, shape, or way. Then I will totally justify the fan subbing. Because, like I said, if you're the people behind Pokemon, and anything 4Kids has dubbed, then heck, I'll even justify Digimon being fan subbed. Those dubs, go on ahead, continue fan subbing them, and anything else that's being screwed over by America. But like I said, if Funimation, Viz, or any of the other competent companies are dubbing it, and especially if they are releasing subtitled episodes within a week of their Japanese release, then I will not support fan subbing for this show, and will even so much as email fan subbing groups telling them they should stop so that the English dub can continue to exist. I honestly think fan subbing groups that do fan sub shows like that should be ashamed of themselves. That is my stance, and I'm sticking to it. Next, why do you think anime dubbing is hated upon the anime community? Well, I think personally it's because of its bad history. Like, the fact that, let's face it, some of the earlier dubs were pretty terrible. But honestly, I think that the quality of dubs is getting better and better, so I think that rep is starting to improve and people are being more okay with English dubs. Alright, next. Who is your favorite anime voice actor? I think I did answer that earlier, but Vic Mignogna. Next. What is your favorite anime? Currently One Piece. Next. Do you like fan subs, and if so, why? Well, I kind of answered that already, but I'll kind of re-answer that. Like I said, it depends on the situation. Like, if the show deserves to be fan subbed, like for being unlicensed or poorly treated, then by all means I will support fan subs. But if Funimation or Viz dubs it, and especially if they're streaming Japanese episodes within a week of their release, then you really should be maybe thinking of finding some other anime to fan sub. That's just my stance, and like I said, it really depends on the case. Do you have any anime plushies? Does that Pikachu doll I showed before count? Anyway, next. Do you like fan fictions? To be honest, not really. I find them to be a bit of a hit or miss sort of thing, and I'd rather not read all the garbage. So, honestly, no. Alright, next question. Do you like to watch anime during your free time? Yeah, you could say that. Next. Have you seen Inuyasha the Final Act? Yes, I have. Next. Have you ever seen Ghost in the Shell and the TV series Standalone Complex? To be honest, I can't say I have. What do you think of Bruce Falconer's music? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Honestly, I like his music. I think some of it is pretty cool sounding, but I honestly find it unfitting for Dragon Ball Z. Next. Why is Dragon Ball Z such a popular anime worldwide? I would say it's probably because it's a pretty good story, it's got a conflict of good versus evil, and it's, honestly, I would compare it to being kind of like the Star Wars of anime. I mean, think about it. It's a story that everyone knows by heart. It has been constantly re-released with video games and all sorts of adaptations, and honestly, let's face it. Oh, and of course adds that the fact that, much like Star Wars, it has a prequel that no one cares as much about. Although it's worth noting that Dragon Ball, unlike the Star Wars prequels, is actually pretty good and honestly kind of underrated, to say the least. But yeah, both of them are... Oh, and adds that the fact that they're about to make a Star Wars sequel, so you could count that as the GT of Star Wars. Hopefully it'll be better, though. So yeah, I think that's the main reason. It's just a really great story. Anyway, next. Are you going to review the Shaman King English dub by 4Kids? Look, I have yet to watch Shaman King, but perhaps one day if I ever decide to watch the show and if I'm willing to put up with the English dub, I'll take a look at it and give it a chance for a review. Next. Are you going to review Tai Chi Chaser's English dub by 4Kids as well as Sonic X? Much like the same above, I have yet to watch those shows, so I can't really say. Anyway, when will you review the Attack on Titan dub by Funimation? Well, first off, I'm waiting for it to finish airing on TV. There's still a few episodes left, and I don't know why they haven't finished it, but they have like 3 episodes left, I think. So, I guess maybe once they finish with that, I'll give it a shot. It is, however, on my to-do list. That one, unlike the ones above, I have every intent of reviewing Attack on Titan. Next. Will you review the Naruto Shippuden dub? One of these days. Next. Do you like the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, and have you ever seen the Ocean dub before? Well, first off, yes, I have seen the Ocean dub before, and as far as do I like it or not? Not really. To be honest, I think the music score is pretty bad, like, even worse than the Falconer score, and honestly, the voices are just so weird sounding to me, because I'm so used to the Funimation cast that hearing them sound differently is just so strange to me. I don't know. I don't really like it. Next. Have you ever seen hentai before? Yes. Next. Do you like looking at anime girls? Maybe. Okay, yeah. Some anime girls can be quite hot looking, though often it's very difficult to tell if they're old enough or not. Though luckily, since they're drawn, they can be as old as I want them to be. So I guess that can be a problem, but otherwise it's pretty... Anime girls can be quite hot, but then again, so can some American comic girls be hot as well. So honestly, can't complain about them. Next. Do you also like to look at hentai? Why are you Okay, why would you even ask me this question? I mean, come on. Are you trying to figure out if I'm a pervert or not or something? That aside, yes, I have seen some hentai, and some of it can be quite good, but other hentai, the big problem I have with hentai in general is that the animation is just really bad. Like, I know anime can often have reused animation and piss poor quality, but hentai is even worse in quality. Like, they'll use very still images and mediocre animation, and honestly, add to that the fact that most of the time due to those Japanese laws, they have all the good stuff is censored out, so that makes it even more difficult. So I have to find some hentai that's been released over in America uncensored and hope that it's not the English dub of it. But yeah, other than that, I'll admit I can enjoy some hentai. Next. Do you ever buy anime releases when they come out? Sometimes, but admittingly I haven't done so in a while. Next. What do you think of old anime dubs? Well, first off, that's a pretty vague question as to how old we're talking about. But if you mean like original Speed Racer old, then I think those dubs are just laughable, like so bad they're funny. Now, if you mean dubs that are like from when I was younger, having grown up in the 90s, I will say that the older dubs often suffered from localization and bad editing, and I honestly think that the dubs have just continued to get better and better these days, so I don't really like older dubs, but I'll admit they do have their charm. Next, what do you think of anime dubbing in general? Honestly, I'm fine with it, as long as the dubs are handled right. Like, that means Funimation or Viz, if they want to dub the show, that's fine. 4Kids wants it, they better stay away from it. Too bad. And if you want to be a 4Kids imitator, go to hell. Next. Ah, damn. Some garbage truck in the background. Guess I'll start a tune for part 3.